Hey everyone, welcome back to Philosophy and Coffee with Austin Rambo. This is my roommate Justin.
Hello, my name is Justin, and I am the co-host today of Austin's podcast for the Big Lebowski.
Today we're going to be talking, as Justin said, about the Big Lebowski and the philosophical and religious allegories in the 1998 film directed by the Coen brothers. Hope you enjoy. For those of you who don't know, the Big Lebowski is a 1998 comedy film directed by the Coen brothers, starring Jeff Bridges and John Goodman. It details Jeff Bridges as the dude who gets entangled in a kidnapping mystery involving a rich man known as the Big Lebowski in the search for his kidnapped wife, when in reality the dude just wants his rug back and gets many misadventures representing different philosophical allegories presented throughout the film.
So I will start off by talking about the dude in the Big Lebowski. So to me, the Big Lebowski, the character played by Jeff Bridges, the dude, kind of represents like a existentialist, sort of Christ-like figure. He's just sort of going with the flow. He literally, the whole reason for being for his characters, he just wants his rug back, right? So it's very absurdist in the way that his whole purpose throughout the film was just to get his rug back, but it ultimately leads him on this huge adventure where he has to help this billionaire get his wife back, and it's just this whole kidnapping plot, this sort of play on noir films and tropes, and ultimately it just leads to kind of silly, sort of meaningless conclusion where the dude accepts in the end that he didn't get his rug back. The whole kidnapping plot he was involved in as a result of his getting his rug stolen didn't mean anything at all in the end either, and they just ultimately found solace in the end in their friendship and in just bowling together as friends because they're on a bowling team together. So that is what the Big Lebowski means to me philosophically. Now I'm just going to pass it off to Austin, who will explain his side.
I definitely think the dude is a go-with-the-flow type character, and I mean, he found his life's purpose in bowling and in his rug, which of course in the modern days, and Gen Z in particular, looks at that particular figure and thinks it's a slacker or almost quoted as loser mentality, when in reality the dude's at peace. The dude has a desire for finding peace in a way that's very Zen Buddhist, as Jeff Bridges likes to quote it, and the go-with-the-flow part of Taoism. Now, Sam Elliott's character is a cowboy who the dude meets at a bar and talks about how after the dude quotes his famous line, "The dude abides," he says, "Dude's taking it easy for all us sinners," which represents the Christian philosophy of how Jesus died for our sins in a way the dude's just taking it easy for all of our sins. Next part, I want to show a video a clip from the film where the dude is talking to the stranger played by Sam Elliott at the bar to further illustrate my idea of the dude abides, as well as the philosophies regarding what the dude represents, as well as what the stranger represents, meaning the Old West versus the New Age existentialism philosophy.
You got a good sarsaparilla?
Sioux City sarsaparilla?
Yeah, it's a good one. How you doing there, dude?
Not too good, man.
One of those days, huh?
Yeah.
Well, a wiser fellow than myself once said, sometimes you eat the bar and much obliged. Sometimes the bar while he eats you.
That some kind of Eastern thing?
Far from it. I like your style, dude.
Oh, well, I dig your style too, man. Got a whole cowboy thing going.
Thank you. There's just one thing, dude.
What's that?
You have to use so many cuss words.
The fuck you talking about?
Okay, dude. Have it your way. Take her easy, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. Two old sodas, Gary.
Right. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Sorry to hear about Donnie.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, sometimes you eat the bar and sometimes, Hey, man,
Howdy do, dude.
I wondered if I'd see you again.
I wouldn't miss the semis. How things
yeah?
been going?
You know, strikes and gutters, ups and downs.
I'm sure I got you.
Yeah. Thanks, Gary. Well, take care, man. Gotta get back.
Sure. Take it easy, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you will.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
The dude abides. I don't know about you, but I take comfort in that. It's good knowing he's out there, the dude, taking her easy for all us sinners. Shush. I sure hope he makes the finals. Well, that about does her. Wraps her all up. Things seem to have worked out pretty good for the dude and Walter. And it was a pretty good story, don't you think? Made me laugh to beat the band. Parts, anyway. I didn't like seeing Donnie go. But then I happen to know that there's a little Lebowski on the way. I guess that's the way the whole darned human comedy keeps perpetuating itself. Down through the generations. Westward the wagons. Across the sands of time until we... Oh, look at me. I'm rambling again. Well, I hope you folks enjoyed yourselves. Catch you later on down the trail. Say, friend, you got any more of that good sarsaparilla?
Next part of the podcast, I want to talk about what the rug represents in the film to the dude and as well to the audience. Albert Camus was a philosopher who was known for the philosophy of absurdism, which find even if life is meaningless, it's important to find simple pleasures in life, such as just drinking a cup of coffee in the morning. Now, the absurdist philosophy of the dude, even though he is striving to get his rug back, the deeper he attaches to the material object, the crazier and more entangled he becomes in the criminal underworld, which also highlights the fact of Buddhism, which is important to detach and not latch on to material objects. However, the absurdist philosophy correlates to that because the dude finds his life purpose not only in his rug that really tied his rib together, as he likes to quote it, but also constantly going to bowling with his friends and finding calamity in the face of adversity. Let's hear what Justin's got to say on it.
So I'm just going to briefly speak about the philosophical nature of the character of Walter next. Walter is very much about the rules, and
Next up I want to show is a scene where the dude actually meets the Big Lebowski for the first time in the hope to get his rugs back, and the conflict between the Big Lebowski representing rich conservative lifestyle versus the dude's laid back left-wing lifestyle. Hope you enjoy.
Okay, sir, you're a Lebowski, I'm a Lebowski. That's terrific. But I am very busy, as I imagine you are. What can I do for you, sir?
Well, sir, it's, this rug I have. It really tied the room together.
You told Brandt on the phone, he told me. Where do I fit in?
Well, they were looking for you, these two guys.
I'll say it again. You told Brandt on the phone, he told me. I know what happened, yes, yes.
Oh, so you know that they were trying to piss on your rug?
Did I urinate on your rug?
You mean, did you personally come and pee on my rug?
Hello? Do you speak English, sir? Parla usted inglés? I'll ask you again. Did I urinate on your rug?
No, like I said, woo, or peed on my rug.
I just want to understand this, sir. Every time a rug is micturated upon in this fair city, I have to compensate the person.
Come on, man. I'm not trying to scam anybody here. I'm just,
You're just looking for a handout like every other. Are you employed, Mr. Lebowski?
Wait, let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, that or his dudeness or duder or, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Are you employed, sir?
Employed?
You don't go out looking for a job dressed like that, do you? On a weekday?
What day is this?
Well, I do work, sir. So if you don't mind.
Well, I do mind. The dude minds. This will not stand, This aggression will not stand, man. I mean, your wife owes
My
money.
wife is not the issue here. I hope that someday my wife will learn to live on her allowance, which is ample. But if she does not, that is her problem, not mine. Just as the rug is your problem. Just as every bum's lot in life is his own responsibility, regardless of who he chooses to blame. I didn't blame anyone for the loss of my legs. Some Chinaman took them from me in Korea, but I went out and achieved anyway. I cannot solve your problem, sir. Only you can.
Oh, fuck it.
Oh, fuck it. Yes, that's your answer. That's your answer to everything. Tattoo it on your forehead. Your revolution is over, Mr. Lebowski. Condolences. The bum's lost. My advice to you is to do what your parents did. Get a job, sir. The bums will always lose. Do you hear me, Lebowski?
Yeah, so Walter is very stoic. He's very much about the rules and following the rules, given his military background. He constantly references Vietnam throughout the film, and he constantly kind of ties everything into Vietnam in some form or fashion, and he does a lot of like outlandish, awkward things throughout the film as a result of his connection with Vietnam and his time as a soldier. So he's very, I guess, rigid in his personality, and he doesn't really like to budge much outside of like, I guess like how things are structured. So when the guy moves his toe over the line when he's bowling, right? And Walter just pulls a gun on him because it's breaking the rules if he counts that, even though he stepped over the line, which is a foul in bowling. So yeah, just very very strict, and it clashes with the dude's like go with the flow personality. And really, they just sort of complement each other as opposites, because I guess in this case, opposites attracted, and Walter really wanted to help the dude to achieve his goals of getting his rug back and also figuring out this whole kidnapping mystery. So, yeah, do you want to pick up from there?
Just going back to Walter, the stoic behavior of his character, as Justin mentioned, he is a war veteran. On top of that, he's probably the dude's most loyal friend in the entire film, and the one who also gets entangled up in the kidnapping mystery with the dude. He represents loyalty to the dude as well as a sense of chaotic environment that the dude keeps dragging himself out into, which highlights the themes of friendship throughout the movie, that is loyal and important that social relationships are. They do create a more chaotic world for yourself, but in the end, they are all worth it, as we are social beings who strive on social relationships, such as the dude and Walter. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about in the video is the character of Jesus, portrayed by John Turturro in the bowling alley, just the one scene. Now in the scene, he claims that he's going to beat the dude on the bowling alley, and the dude responds that that's just like your opinion, man, which means that people's opinions are just people's opinions. They don't have to get inside your head. Now, John Turturro's character, Jesus, is also presented as a pedophile in the movie, and his name is Jesus. So it's very contrasting. It's like Jesus and the dude, which is like a Taoist Buddhist figure, talking and arguing in a bowling alley together. Now, the fact that Jesus is portrayed as a pedophile could go back to the idea of several Catholic priests who were convicted of pedophilia, which could represent the Christian hypocrisy presented in religion. And the dude's laid-back approach, which even though he is a Christ-like and Buddhist figure, he's more laid-back approach has a sense of peace that Jesus' character, played John Turturro, does not have. And just like in the bar, when Sam Elliott, in my opinion, I think represents the idea of God or the dude's conscious. He represents an old Western figure that he kind of almost seems like he fell out of another movie, and he's questioning the dude and is swearing his get-up is Sam Elliott's an old Western figure, and the dude's just go with the flow, doesn't really care much what Sam Elliott has to say, but he's also enlightened and open to listen to whatever he has to say at the bowling alley to him.
So for me, the character of Maud, played by Julianne Moore, represents a sort of very detached, sort of individual character where she doesn't really she's very detached from the world around her. She doesn't really seek pleasure in things. Like, for example, when she has sex with the dude later in the film, when she wants to conceive a child, it's just for her own personal gain, I suppose. It's not really for a pleasurable, fun experience. She's very feminist and very individual in that way, where she just wants to kind of do her own thing. She doesn't really want the dude in her life or any partner to be in her life to help care for this child. She just wants to be on her own and make her art and just just do it her way, basically. That's all I really have to say.
I also want to add on, the character of Maud is the daughter of the Big Lebowski, which is the rich billionaire that the dude keeps getting confused of throughout the entire film. And as Justin said, she does have an individualistic expression of feminism, but she's also an artist. And she represents a form of hedonism which garners pleasure throughout life, and that's the meaning of life for them. However, Maud is never satisfied with her search for pleasure, whereas the dude has abandoned his search of pleasure and has found eternal peace.
Next, I'm going to discuss the character of Donnie. Donnie in the film just sort of exists. He's just sort of there, but he's a very naive, very innocent character in the film as compared to Walter or the dude. Really, all he does in the film is just sort of ask questions, sort of. Well, he doesn't really add his takes on anything, but yeah, he's just sort of there along for the ride. He's just sort of the innocent, simple-minded one of the group, but they accept him anyways, even though they kind of mistreat him throughout the film. And really, his character just kind of represents the fragility of life, I suppose, because his character just sort of comes to an unfortunate end, really. He just dies suddenly of a heart attack, even though he's the most innocent one throughout the whole film, and it's just a very unfortunate thing. His character was so sweet, so innocent. But really his character was just there as just kind of to represent the absurdism of the story. Just someone who's there, he just loves to bowl and hang out with his friends, even though sometimes they aren't the nicest to him. And that's really all I have to say about that. Thank you.
As Justin briefly said at the beginning of our video, that The Big Lebowski is homage to many noir films, especially The Big Sleep. The dude is almost presented as more of an anti-Humphrey Bogart character, where he doesn't really care to get involved in the murder mystery or the kidnapping. And The Big Lebowski is represented as a hedonistic hypocrite. Even though he's a billionaire, he got his money from inheritance and actually doesn't really do anything to help the world, even though he likes to present himself as a good harbor American who keeps calling the dude a bum and a slacker. And the dude's content, and the dude's the polar opposite of this, where he represents the state of inner peace that The Big Lebowski does not have. And the film is almost a spoof of the noir genre, being the dude doesn't want to get involved. That's what you got, Justin.
The Big Lebowski is filled with a various assortment of different characters, different personalities, ones that you wouldn't really think would carry a film much like this. That's about kidnapping and all these other nuances and subtleties that would exist in a much more serious film with much more serious characters, but in this case, it doesn't. But ultimately, it's a very, very interesting character study about how all of these people kind of exist together and kind of navigate a situation like this. And yeah, I think it was very well told. I mean, I guess I'm kind of reviewing the film, but no, the characters in the film were very interesting in the ways they factored into the story, and how each one kind of represents its own philosophy and their own meaning into the film, and how they sort of interacted with each other, and yeah, it gave the film its life and its purpose, and ultimately it was just sort of absurd and meaningless in the end, which I guess was the whole point from the beginning, really. Kind of like the dude just sort of strolling along and just kind of being okay with it, you know?
Last part I want to talk about is the fact that an entire religion is made after this movie came out, and it's Dudism, or the Church of Latter-day Dude. There are Dudists throughout the country that are in their version. It's an Americanized version of Taoism, where they present themselves as very go-with-the-flow people, and they like to go bowling. And the holy day is actually the day the film came out, and their holy books are the Dude Day Chang and the Dude Testament. It's pretty interesting that the whole religion was based on this movie, but I think that makes it even more intriguing to actually learn about. All right, last thing I want to talk about is the nihilism presented throughout the film. With absurdism representing finding your life's meaning, life's purpose in a meaningless world, nihilism is the admission that there is no meaning to life and the point of life is nothing. The Germans that keep assaulting and beating up the dude throughout the Big Lebowski are self-expressed nihilists throughout. They keep saying they believe in nothing, they get pleasure from things, but then they go to the extremes with everything. And the dude is always quoted as saying, "You guys are exhausting." Like, there's the versus the dude's comfortable with finding the flow of life and finding life's simple pleasures. The dude has no space for nihilism in his mind. Versus the nihilists have no place for absurdism or even Taoism or Buddhism within their frame of mind. Thank you for watching my third video about the Big Lebowski and the philosophical and religious allegories of the film. Please like and subscribe if you like my video. Any comments, more than appreciated, and I hope to see you all next time. Thanks for watching Philosophy and Coffee.